Yeah, I think we're doing great. Yeah, we've officially cleared Dre to return with us. He trained with us this morning. He's even doing a little bit of extra now on the field, which is great. Great to see. So yeah, we are planning with Dre in and amongst our roster for up until he's called up for the national team.
Okay, and then you and Robin Fraser have coached against each other in the past. What philosophies do you see in scouting that he's taken from his previous stop? And on the flip side, is there anything new that you've seen implemented with Toronto that he might not have done in the past with his squad?
No, I don't think it's so much about talking about his previous club. I think it's about now how he's approached working with that group of players and how he's starting to form and transition into his game model. And they're an aggressive team. They have a very competitive midfield. Osorio brings a bit of experience there too. And they're very dangerous on the flanks. I know they have a couple of suspensions now. So, but yeah, that doesn't change away the fact that they are dangerous. They're very good in the transition. I would say probably one of the most transitional teams that we're going to face now. So in terms of managing both boxes, we're going to have to be on high alert and aware of that. Yeah, but it's never easy coming into a new environment, and I've seen and had a lot of experiences of that too, and I think he's done a great job now over the last couple of weeks, turning the results and working with big stars and how to get that, and it looks like he's getting that perfect. So compliments to him and how he's turned that around. So. I don't have to think too much about them. I'm thinking about my group and just refocusing after a very emotional game, and taking the necessary steps forward to move on from that, and get ready for a tough away stretch here in Toronto, and we go straight to Dallas after that.
Thank you.
Jonathan?
Thanks, Nico. Hi, Bradley. Um,
Hey, Jonathan.
there's not going to be a month like this for the rest of the year, even if you go to the Open Cup final. And I just wonder how grueling has it been, and for you as the tactician and the planner, how much of a challenge has it been to make sure everybody's healthy, make sure you have 20
Yeah.
players every 3 days and all that?
Yeah, I think if you looked at just the results alone, you would say, can we not play this for 12 months a year?
Okay.
Um, because it's been pretty astounding the way that teams, had the balance of maximum all out, ruthless, chaotic, and then how much of it is poise, balance, moments, triggers. So I've enjoyed this process, and I don't know if I've ever experienced. I've experienced a lot of busy months, but I'm not sure I'm going to experience this one, for quite some time. But I'm enjoying it. Every coach, every player, if you speak to them, all they want to do is play games. And I think the way that we, distributing the minutes, the way that we're rotating, I think the health within the group is very good. So right now we feel like we can be competitive wherever we may go.
I know it's 2 games left in this stretch instead of one, but do you let yourself feel like there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel?
No, I mean, listen, there's always something that's coming next. There's always something that's just around the corner. So, we've just completed our little, tracking 5 block sequence and a 5 match sequence, and now we move on to the next one. So, from the next 5 games, 4 of those are away from home, which is a stretch in its own. And now we have two back to back. We're staying on the road as a group. So yeah, it's going to be a moment. We're going to bolster the squad. We're going to take extra players. We're going to have a nice big traveling roster just to get the togetherness, and the team spirit, keep that morale high, and keep the energy flowing because we felt we've been great on the road so far.
Jose?
Hi, Bradley.
Jose.
Thank you. Wanted to ask you, and I think you sort of hinted at it with Jonathan's question or the answer to his question, is just how important. I don't think that this group gets enough recognition, especially when you go through these stretches of, May, what you just experienced, but the Cotters, Marissa Gab, all the people in the
Sure.
back room, just how important they were to get you through what, as Jonathan said, sort of, you see the light at the end of the tunnel, just how important they are if you wanted to kind of share some words on their
I mean,
work and
yeah,
really.
please. Thanks, Jose, for that platform. I mean, yeah, listen, everyone, I kind of make the joke, when you look at the league table and when you look at something that's something really special brewing, and everyone just thinks that it automatically happens, right? So I make the joke always, we leave at home and, I know my staff, the technical staff, they go home, open up their laptops again, right? And we will say like the elves come at midnight and sprinkle the fairy dust, and then eventually you wake up in the morning and the product is finished, right? So, and then we present to the players, and Marissa's getting all the hydration and the testing and all those samples ready for the players when they walk in, that they don't skip a beat in their daily routine. And then Ryan Cotter, Vince McCluskey, Brad Papson, Paulie, we can all go around the horn there, that everybody, I get here very early and everyone's here already. So, everyone has just committed to the cause, and when you commit to something as a staff bigger than yourself, and commit to the togetherness of the group, I think the group feeds off of that and says, wow, look at the staff. They're totally engulfed and encompassed in what we are doing. And the player is the most important thing. Just to give them the platform. So yeah, I'm forever grateful, and that's a standard that we are setting, and we have to uphold those standards and hold ourselves accountable to those standards. And yeah, listen, it's easy when it's going well, and we were fairly critical as a group in today's meetings and videos and everything, because we feel like the more you can challenge in these successful moments, the stronger you'll be in challenging moments, Jose. So I think there's a lot of good spirit going around the camp, but it's also critical, and it's also we find ways to challenge each other as a staff as well as the players.
And I guess just out of curiosity, maybe behind the curtains, just when you think about this workload, right, that was the month of May in terms of minutes for the bodies of the Danleys, maybe the Frankie Westfields, these players who probably within the next couple of weeks will be, or actually, yeah, 2 weeks, I guess, could be departing for international duty.
Sure.
Do you take into account the potential minutes that they could be getting with the international team to sort of, balance out what will be the domestic competition versus their international competitions, or you just sort of go with what you can control?
Yeah, we know we have like a mandatory break in June. So we know that everyone's going to get some sort of deloading there, and they'll obviously keep up to their sort of loads. We do have some friendlies planned as well through the month of June, just to keep ticking over and keep our rhythm. Because one of the biggest things, if you break your rhythm, and we hope, like we said, the rhythm's been great for us, and we've been managing that pretty well. When we lost all those players on the 22nd of March and we played St. Louis here, we were able to come out flying because we felt we had prepared the guys in a certain way. Now I feel we could be even hopefully better prepared because of the bodies have had more minutes. The guys have had more competition. We've had more sort of sample size of what we're doing, and how we're going about it. So we are in contact with the performance staff of the national teams. We get the daily GPS reports, we get the weekly whatevers and the breakdowns of the matches. So, we are in contact there, and Ryan Cotter does a good job of keeping up to tabs with that. But we have to put our trust in them to know that they are training the guys in the right way. And obviously, they're a high level, world-class experienced coaching staff. So, I wouldn't assume anything less.
Thank you. Best of luck and safe travels.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And final question to go to Jonathan.
Thanks, Nico. I just want to clarify something, Bradley. I assume, but please tell me if I'm wrong, that everybody who's going to leave for national teams will do so on June 1st. Is anybody leaving earlier? And do you have a sense assuming Danley and Andre and maybe Quinn go to the Gold Cup, do you have a date certain of when everybody else who will go will be back?
Yeah, I mean, probably around about that 11th, 12th of June. The guys who are called up should be back by then, we're hoping. 11th, 12th, 13th, somewhere around about there.
Okay. Do you think they'd be back for Charlotte? Those who'd be coming back then?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, the question marks could probably be Danley, Dre, Quinn,